Welcome to this explainer. All right, let's just dive right in, because home care consultations, they aren't your standard run-of-the-mill business meetings. We are talking about profoundly high-stakes, deeply emotional environments. It's about people's loved ones, their safety, and the absolute sanctity of their homes. So today, we're unpacking source material that tackles one of the genuinely toughest parts of this job, handling objections gracefully.
Okay, picture this. You're sitting in a prospective client's living room. The clock is ticking, you've just beautifully presented your care plan, and suddenly, the energy in the room completely shifts. Bam! The family raises a wall. They look at you and say no. It's a moment of raw, heavy tension. So how do you react in that exact split second? Do you freeze up? Do you instantly get defensive?
Let's get into Section 1, shifting the objection mindset, from roadblock to opportunity.
Before we even think about exactly what words to say, we have to fundamentally change how we view client pushback. In the heat of the moment, it is so incredibly easy to see an objection as a roadblock, like a door slamming right in your face. But we need to embrace a completely new reality here. An objection is an opportunity to reinforce. It's not a door closing. Actually, scratch that. It's more like a request for reassurance. When a family pushes back, they are practically begging you, please make me feel safe enough to say yes.
Which brings us to Section 2. The graceful handling framework, 3 steps to building trust.
Once we have that mindset shift totally locked in, we can move to the tactical execution. And look, it's elegantly simple, but wow, is it effective? Step 1, listen first. When the objection comes, do not interrupt. Don't immediately launch into a defense of your services. Just listen. Step 2, respond empathetically. Validate their heavy feelings and those very real fears. And finally, step 3, guide families towards solutions. You don't push them, you guide them. This 3-step sequence, that is your absolute anchor when the emotional waves in that living room get high.
Let's look at Section 3, Objection 1, the price is too high.
All right, let's get into the trenches and see how this actually plays out in the real world. We just can't afford this right now. Put yourself directly in the shoes of an exhausted daughter or an anxious son sitting across from you. They desperately want the absolute best help for their aging parent, but they are terrified of bankrupting their own family to do it. That fear is real, it's urgent, and it is a massive burden to carry.
So here is exactly how we apply the framework in this super high-stakes moment. First, you listen. Listen to those financial fears as you can practically see them calculating the bills in their head. Let them air out all their anxieties about the budget. Then you respond empathetically, without a single ounce of defensiveness. You validate them by saying you completely understand how overwhelming care costs can be. It's like building a bridge, right? Only after that connection is made do you guide them to solutions. Maybe that means exploring scaled-down critical hours care or pointing them toward alternative funding options. Empathy always paves the way for collaborative problem-solving.
Moving right along to Section 4, Objection 2, we already have a caregiver. Picture this scenario. You're presenting the benefits of your agency, and the family drops the classic, well, we already have someone helping out. Maybe it's a neighbor or a super devoted family friend who comes by a couple days a week. The family relies heavily on this informal setup, and they are highly resistant to disrupting it or even admitting it might not be enough anymore.
Let's apply our 3 steps to handle this one gracefully. Listen first to how their current setup works, and absolutely do not dismiss it. Then, respond empathetically to their loyalty, really honoring the fact that they've built this caring support system. Finally, gently guide them to solutions. Show them how your agency isn't there to bulldoze or replace their trusted network, but rather to step in as a partner so their devoted family friend doesn't completely burn out.
Now for Section 5, Objection 3, fear of letting strangers in.
I don't want a stranger in mom's house. Wow, this statement hits right at the core of human vulnerability. Just channel that deep feeling for a second. The idea of opening up the most private, sacred space, a family home, to someone you literally do not know, that is legitimately terrifying. At this point, this isn't a debate about services anymore. It's a primal concern about physical and emotional safety.
Here is exactly how the framework diffuses this really intense situation. Listen first to those deeply protective instincts. Let them fully express that worry. Respond empathetically to that vulnerability. Acknowledge that, hey, letting someone in is a massive leap of faith, and tell them that their protective nature is actually a beautiful thing. Finally, guide them to solutions. This is where you gently explain your rigorous background checks, your super careful matching process, and the concrete steps you take to ensure their peace of mind.
By following the framework, you're literally transforming their deep fear into a solid foundation of trust.
Okay, let's bring this whole shebang together. Objections are opportunities to reinforce. That is the absolute ultimate takeaway from this explainer today. When a family pushes back on price or current arrangements or fear of strangers, they are not rejecting you. They're just not. They are inviting you to step up, connect with them, and provide the exact reassurance they so desperately need.
Which brings us to our final thought and a bit of a provocative challenge for you. Are you ready to welcome your next client's no? The next time the energy shifts in that living room, don't freeze up. Lean into it, listen, empathize, and guide. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope you leave here feeling empowered to eagerly apply this graceful framework in your very next high-stakes consultation. Catch you next time.